Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossy. Rossy, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with the story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
And my
Rossy.
favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasters,
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and
Rossy.
Curly.
On the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
And Rossy.
All right, cool. We're good.
Okay, all right. Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to episode 205 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes. Well, only two old blokes tonight. One obsession, but then it's music that matters. We love our unfiltered chats with largely undiscovered artists. So this is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. Wherever you're listening, please hit that subscribe button. So let me first welcome in my fellow co-host who isn't on the world tour of Agnes Water as we speak, and that's Rossy. How are you, Rossy?
Good, Curly. How are you, mate?
I'm
feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. You had a pretty rough weekend, so love to Shona, who's had a bit of an accident, and but a great pocket watch concert or live gig, a community event, I hear, Rossy.
That's right. They played for the local Lions Club in a park in Riverwood, which is in the heart of the Canterbury Bankstown district. Sadly for Canterbury supporters who are a little bit sad this week.
Yes, they would be, wouldn't they? And
not as sad as the Canberra supporters. And the Hawthorn supporters.
Yeah, Lions supporters are still in there. So let's...
I thought you'd be happy about that, Curly. I thought you'd be happy about that.
And what a win. So let's not waste too much time. So tonight we're excited to introduce you to an artist bringing a whole new flavour. And when I say a whole new flavour, you'll hear this whole new flavour to the Australian music scene. Jacob Jean calls his sound a mystic groove. It's fresh, it's infectious, it's a blend of reggae, RnB, rock, and funk, and it's impossible to sort of sit still and ignore it when it's on, right? So Jacob's based in WA. He's quickly building a name with his soulful vocals, groove-heavy rhythms, and a live show that he's getting out there and out there and getting it out. WA, South Australia, and soon to be Victoria, which is absolutely awesome. Welcome to the show, Jacob.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's good to be here. I appreciate you having me.
So he's working his way to the capital, is he?
Agnes Water's the capital, yeah?
Yeah.
Over to you, Rossy.
Yeah. So Jacob, Braggy would normally ask a question of this ilk, and I feel quite honoured to be able to ask the Tave Bragg Memorial question.
Give it to me straight.
So, mate, how did it start off for you? When did you realise the light went on? Yeah, like it happens for everyone. You're like, did you grow up in a musical family? Did you just pick it up yourself? Did you listen to stuff? Were you smoking a bong one night and the light went on? What was it for you, mate? How did it all kick off? And sort of what's your background?
Well, you see, I was standing there at 5 years old on stage
with my dad singing "Achy Breaky Heart" at a Mauritian dance because my old man's from Mauritius, and it was at that moment that I realized that I didn't really love "Achy Breaky Heart," but I loved music. And no offense to Billy Ray Cyrus because it's a great song, but and so yeah, realistically for me, it's actually been something that's been with me. I've an innate knowing that has always been there since I was conscious. Yeah, I just all of my first thoughts are of music and making music, playing music with my family. It got really serious. I suppose the light bulb moment was in year two. I would have been about 7 years old. The choir teacher said, "Yeah, you know, your name's going to be in lights one day," and so that just sparked something in me, and it was like a remembrance of, all right, actually, this is a thing. And since then, I started writing music, man.
Right from the
Wow.
start. Writing your own stuff right from the start, right?
Yeah. So at 9 years old, I wrote my first song ever. It was called "I'm a Person," and I was talking about 9-year-old stuff, but all my friends seemed to like it. You know.
Yeah.
That's important. That's an important thing, you know, to like
Yeah.
to be able to write stuff and to start on that. That's a really important stuff. I listen to your stuff and I get the suspicion you're a bit of a guitar guy too. Like there's a bit of bluesy, rootsy stuff there.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of a guitar guy.
A little bit, yeah. I would say my guitar is yeah, it's nice that you picked up on the blues there. Like I would say it's really centered around a blues feel and scale. However, I put that with my own kind of thing on it on all those other styles like reggae, rock and rap, and so it adds a really different element to those different genres. So
I picked up the rap in Toad.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and like and what I picked from that, like not trying to pigeonhole you, but we all like a bit of Rage Against the Machine too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
which is great. So it's interesting you say you're from a Mauritian background because over the years I worked with a number of Mauritian musicians. It's quite a musical culture too.
Oh, big time. Yeah. So I was born in Australia. My dad is from Mauritius. And yeah, there's a music, as I'm sure you're aware, there's a music there called Sega, which is when Mauritius was found, there was no humans, and so it's a melting pot of so many different cultures and heavily a lot of African culture. And when you listen to Sega, you can hear a lot of that African cultural. Like the beat is, and it's like really, and it's very based around a strong cultural dance, and just really happy vibes. And that had been a hallmark throughout my whole childhood, is going to those Mauritian dances and listening.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So like the French Mauritian guys, a lot of the French Mauritian influence actually came into that quarter of New Orleans too. So like,
yes,
that started that, like that crossroads that hit New Orleans back in the day, brought out that, and you can hear elements all the way through that music.
Absolutely.
And the French, there's a little bit of French in the Mauritian as well, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So, but your bluesy stuff, like it's easy to lean into John Butler or this or that and this and that, which is the surfer laid back vibe stuff. But what do you like? What do you love listening to?
Yeah, for me, it's very interesting. I grew up on what mum and dad were listening to, which was very eclectic. From Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, James Taylor, Steve Miller,
James Taylor,
Van Morrison,
Jimi Hendrix, James Taylor.
Van Morrison. And then throughout high school, my older brother would always have the newer stuff playing on CD in his room. So you had Rage Against the Machine, Green Day, Ben Harper was a big one.
Ben Harper, yeah.
But interestingly, like the last few years of my life, I've really, really become very open to every single style of music. And so to answer the question properly, I'd probably say that right now, my favorite artist would be Bon Iver. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bon.
Yeah.
Say Bon Iver,
Yeah.
which is super duper chill. It feels like you're receiving a warm hug from your nana music, you know.
Oh, nice, mate.
It feels like coming home. But that, I suppose, for me, it's really, really different to my music. And probably that's the reason I love it so much, is that it blows my mind, and it's like, how does he create such perfect music for the soul, you know? And so it's really nice to be in awe of music again, and listening to new styles, you know.
You go dig new stuff all the time. Like I hear stuff I haven't heard before, and I just go, like old stuff, I go, how did I miss that? Or yeah, and it's just exciting. It's because there's so much music, there's none of us can keep up with it, right, Curly?
100%. It's and that's why we love doing what we do, Jacob. We just love this podcast. These conversations allow us to tap into music that we haven't heard before. And when I tapped into yours on Spotify, and you know the way Spotify shuffles the music for us when we first log into an artist profile, it goes Buddha, and then it goes gnarly winter, right? So I'm listening to Buddha, and I've got the chill factor going on.
It's on the one. It's on the 1 and the 3.
And
it's a real progressive groove.
Yeah. And then you get slapped over the face when gnarly winter comes on, and you think, my God, he's playing with Jimi Hendrix or Lenny Kravitz or something like that, right? So how did you come to land on how your music comes out? You blend reggae, rock, funk. You throw in a bit of Hendrix or Lenny Kravitz. It's just, is that like a purposeful thing, or does it just sort of flow from you?
Yeah, great question. So really for me, what it is I basically let music completely flow through me with no obstacle and no judgment. Whereas, you know, some other people, they might stay on a tangent for an album of like, I want to have this style and this flow. But for me, like, it's honestly whatever comes through me from the universe, I allow out with as little judgment, and I try not to tamper with it too much. So for example, to talk about specifically those two songs, Buddha came to me as that first riff, and I was just shuffling on that riff in this little caravan recording studio I had out in the middle of the wilderness. And I was on that riff, and then that song just built on that groove, and I just kept letting it build and build and build. And then the lyrics come to me like in a mumble first, so it's like, and then the lyrics come, you know, and then. So that groove just progressively built, and then it's like, okay, that's cool. And then Finale Winter, the other about 2 months ago, because it wasn't long ago that it came to me. Similar thing, the riff came to me, dun, 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 you know, and I'm sitting on that riff and I'm like, okay, that needs some heavy tone in it and some distortion, and then the beat comes, and then it's like I just kind of allowed the song to go where it wants to go. And then when it got to that middle 8 section of like the real big kind of Queen style breakdown, I literally couldn't actually work fast enough about what was coming through me. Like I literally grabbed one SM58 microphone and put it on the top of a cajon and sat it in front of my drum kit, and that's how I recorded drums, with one microphone for that section, and like layered some electronic beat underneath, and then yeah, the guitar solo just follows. So to really wrap up your question, it's like really I have absolutely no filter and no I allow whatever wants to come out, and I don't think about, oh, the audience needs to hear this. I just believe in authenticity, you know.
I'm saying when you fall in love in the deep of autumn and it's all over, you're done and dusted for the goats in in. It's gonna be a gnarly winter when the bombs are falling and they don't care that these children starving. They got nowhere to rest their head. It's gonna be a gnarly winter when you decide to quit your 9 to 5 to pursue the life that's been in your mind's eye, yeah, the life of your dreams. It's gonna be a gnarly winter when you're holding on to deeds you've done, but then you realize that everyone has just maybe done the same. It's gonna be a gnarly winter. Let's open up eyes and we are the youth, we are rising. Revolution, no fighting. Aquarius, no lies, and bring the truth to the light. Be the stars in the night, Revolution, no fighting. Yeah, revolution, no fighting.
That's fantastic. Now, it's interesting. I was listening to what you were talking about there, and I was really interested in what your process was. I think I suspected that there was a bit of you working in isolation. I figured that you do a lot of the work yourself, right?
Man.
Yeah,
you got it right, brother.
I picked it when I was listening to it. That's the sound. Yeah, like that's solo work. So you work with your tools. You get wherever you're working, and you just let it come, right? Just let it come.
Yeah. Just
So
really, without putting any agendas on it, without putting any type of and make music for fun, man. Like without putting a financial pressure or a pressure of what the crowd's going to think, and it's just like this. I just believe in just letting it out authentically, man.
Oh, wow.
That's very cool.
That is so cool. I've got a question here. Braggy may not be with us, but he has sent us through a couple of questions. And so he says, you seem like a spiritual guy. A lot of your songs are based on a repetitive riff. Gnarly Winter especially has an almost drone-like motive or in the background. Is that a representation of meditation, he's asked?
Beautiful question, man. Wow. He's hit that on the head.
He's going to be unbearable now that you've said that. He's going to be unbearable.
Next question, you reckon?
No, keep going. Love to hear the answer. Sorry.
I like it. I actually really appreciate that all three of you guys have actually really you're very passionate about this, and you've really listened to the music. I can tell. So Yeah, he's really hit the nail on the head there, man. It's like it really does start to play on that the repetition of the grooves and the loops and the vocals. It starts to become a chant. And as you know, all of my lyrics are quite conscious and about positive things and about bringing positive messages and raising the vibration of Mother Earth and things like that. So when that is coupled with, in a sense, getting people into a slight kind of groove-like state, you know, that really does start to lock in those positive lyrics. And definitely it would kind of represent, yeah, kind of groove meditation, man. I like that. Hey, that's cool.
And another question Braggy had for you is just who's quite taken with it as well by the artwork on your thumbnails. Who's done that for you, and what's the background of that?
Yeah, cool. So a very small backstory here. I painted every single song I painted a picture for on my first album, Baddest Summer.
Oh wow!
So I printed off CDs for them, and every song's got a painting that I related to that song as I was creating the song, as a visual record of the album as well. And for this album, my mother's actually the art. I get my art from my mum. She's like a really, really incredible artist. So I actually asked her to paint for all the songs. So yeah, she's done an amazing job. She's done the image for every single song off the new album so far, which is obviously Gnarly Winter, continuing that that seasons theme, you know.
That's
Wow.
very cool. Now, I'll tell you that my dear departed mother was also an artist. I spent a lot of my life in art galleries and going to framers and going around.
Oh wow.
Living
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I don't know if you had this experience. His mum would sketch the work before she'd do it, and I'd be sitting there doing something. She'd go, "Don't move."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
And
definitely. Yes.
and don't move. But what's great is we've got so many sketches of even our kids and our families and stuff. But like she would draw your hand, or she would see a movement, she'd go quick, be scratching it out.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's the
100%.
way of the artist, isn't it? Yeah, that's really cool, mate. That's really cool.
It is so cool.
And the other question, the other Braggy related question before we go any further is: have you been, or would you ever consider going to Nashville?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm open to anything for my music career, man. Like that's a very broad statement, but in terms of anything positive, man, I'm really I'm open to playing anywhere for anyone, man. I just want to get the music out there, you know.
Absolutely. Cool. Tell us a little bit about your live show. Is it like based on how the songs come to you and how you allow it to flow? Is your live show as authentic or as free flowing as that, or is there structure in it? Is it you by yourself? Do you have a band or some backing tracks? How does all that work for you?
Yeah, cool. So definitely there's the bones structure there of I'll write out, I'll feel into the show, and I'll write out a bit of a bone structure of song after song, what could work. And however, it's definitely really free flowing. Every single live performance is completely different, because I'll go off on jams on the guitar, and because I use a loop pedal, I'll just create things on the spot and involve the crowd, and sometimes get crowd members up and get them to speak into the loop. And I'll just create brand new songs, because for me, like, I channel music non-stop. So I'll just create a brand new song in the middle of a set, and and then so most of the time lately I've been doing solo shows. However, from this weekend, I'm starting to step it up a bit, because this weekend I've got a big festival down south of West Australia, and a big reggae night actually in Fremantle, and then obviously doing my interstate stuff. So I'm starting to incorporate a drummer and a percussionist, and because historically for me, I've worked right up with a 12-piece band in previous things I was doing with my music. But yeah, like when I just dropped everything away and just decided to be really authentic. But so yeah, this is starting to it's starting to build, and yeah, like you said, authentically, it's starting to get extra elements of instruments in there, and it's sounding great, you know.
That sounds so risky, just starting to jam out a new song in a live gig, but it sounds so true to who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds pretty consistent with what we were saying, doesn't it, Curly?
Very
What
much
I would,
so.
what I'm interested in, like your approach, like we talk about this with a lot of new artists because there's a new way of doing things, right? There's the streaming, there's no sales of records, there's no sales of CDs, or the physical media has kind of dropped off, and merchandise is important, and strategies for dropping CDs. Do you give much thought to that sort of businessy sort of things? And if you do, what sort of approach do you take? And if you don't, that's cool too.
Yeah, sure. For me, I put a strong emphasis on my live performances. I I really make a serious, concerted focus of not relating earning money with music, because I think uh, it basically puts an agenda on the art form, and it really does influence everything about performance, recording, writing. So
Sally's the art.
yeah, that's right, and that's okay, and there's no judgment for anyone who does, because there's many different ways we can play art. You know, some guys that might be their thing. They want to earn money through playing whatever they play, and that's cool. Like, no judgment at all. However, for myself, I feel as though, and my faith in whatever you believe in the universe, in God, my faith is that my live show will get to a place where just playing it for the love and for the fun and for the people will actually start to bring in the abundance I need to just
Keep
to
doing it.
play music perpetually, you know. And I think it's just really important to stay in that mind frame. Otherwise, it doesn't become play anymore, man. Like, there's a reason we call it, when we play music, it's play is fun, man. You know what I mean? It's not work. I think we start bringing finances in, and it becomes work rather than play, man. You know?
Sure does. It can get ugly real quick.
Yeah, for sure. And it allows you to bring that real light-hearted and fun atmosphere to a gig too, you know, because there's no pressure
Playful.
on it. Yeah, exactly.
Like for you to go from Perth to Adelaide across to Melbourne, like you can't do it for free. You can't do it on chips, right? Yeah.
Oh, look, man, I'm definitely still working. I'm funding my music career. I've got a job. But
Yeah.
it's that's the beauty of it, is like I make sure I get enough from working what I do to just not think about it barbering, just not think about it music, you know what I mean? So
The other
yeah,
the thing is, if work was fun, you'd pay to go there.
exactly. Yeah, man, that's it. I like that.
So with your fans and people who love your music, what is it that they take with them? So we've heard about your music from your aspect and how it flows and it's authentic and whatnot. What do you hear them saying? What do you hear them saying about your music? How is it making them feel?
Sure. Last night I had, was it last night? Last night I had a gig, which was, no, Monday night I had a gig off the back of a 3,000-kilometer tour of gigs in Frio. It was just an open mic night, and it was awesome. The people there were up, going crazy, dancing, and afterwards, this other muso that was in the crowd sat me down and said, "Man, I needed that. I needed that positivity. I needed that vibe. It's really kind of been good for me to hear that music, and I needed a good dance." And you know, on tour, to give you direct quotes, like one guy who was behind the bar up north in Karratha said it's the best music he's kind of had in the venue for a long time, and just kind of brought a new vibe. And So it's nice to hear feedback like that, man. And I
Man,
think the main sentiment is people just enjoy a positive music, you know, and kind of getting the crowd involved, you know.
yeah,
Someone bailed me up on Sunday and said, I know we're at a community festival, but shit, that band's better than I ever thought they'd be.
I love that. So you guys play too, obviously.
Yeah, no, that was me managing my son's band, but I play in a couple of bands. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I've been doing this for a long time.
yeah,
Cool,
and
man.
and I'm just a punter. I just love music.
It's
Never,
not just
never.
a punter because it doesn't exist without punters. Without
True,
people who
true.
sit there and go and see acts, it doesn't exist. They're the people who make it happen, right?
And
A couple of-
that's the thing, man.
yeah,
It only
true.
takes one or two super fans at each gig to really build up
Yeah.
something, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
I get a feeling with Jacob, but so the fans are sort of almost like the byproduct. It's like he would be music anyway.
It wouldn't matter to him, I don't think.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about Toad, because once again, that Toad thing, it's like Lenny Kravitz, and then all of a sudden you break into like the Beastie Boys.
No, it's
Right.
Rage Against the Machine, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that one come about?
Okay, so I'll be quite careful with how I say this. However, it's all to do with a natural medicine that that changed my life. And I had an experience which many people in South America have with this natural medicine, and from there, I went home and started writing Toad. The opening line, what would you say if I told you that heaven, it is hidden in the back of a toad? And yeah, and so from there, the riff kind of just was. It came from a different dimension, man. Like it came from a real spiritual place, and then when those real hard kind of rage kind of hard rap lyrics started coming out, I was even surprised at myself. I was like, oh, okay, no worries, man. Like, but let's do it. Like, no judgment. And I suppose what it revealed to me is like I really do have that real kind of rocky side to me, and what I really like is that I'm able to bring my positive lyrics into the mix with that, and it kind of it makes people kind of second listen. It's like, hang on, what did he say there? Like, this sounds like it could have some kind of angry stuff, but it's actually the opposite. So, but yeah, it was just the main thing that came through with that song is how it says there are many ways to the divine. There's many ways that you might find God, you know, and it's all about just, hey man, there's many ways you might find what you're looking for. There's many ways you might find peace, or you might find happiness, or whatever you believe in. You know?
I don't think Rage Against the Machine's that angry. I think they're actually agents for change.
True. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, my friend. Yeah.
And the other song that I read, like, I could imagine myself sitting there. Once again, I'm a Sunday session sort of a guy, Jacob. I love sitting out in the sun in the beer garden, having a nice cold beer and just chilling to some vibes and some music. And I could see myself with your music on doing that. But All My Friends is just a nice little tune. It's really cool. So tell us a little bit about that song.
That song was really, really, that's an interesting one. So when I was really starting out to get into the live scene, we're talking a long time ago, I got up for a couple of open mic nights at a local place in Scarborough called the Indie Bar. It's like a really well-known open mic night. It just gets absolutely ram-packed with people, and kind of if you get seen there, you start to get known in the Perth scene. And I started doing my solo set with some beatboxing, and yes, just musos just wanted to play. So I started getting some horns and some drummers and everyone just kind of just jumped on board, and all of a sudden we had 9 players. And All My Friends was something that I had been playing solo, and it was just like, okay, it's time to just put this down as a band. And it was pretty much the first song that I really put out there.
Yeah.
No, I just had it on YouTube for a long time, and I recorded it with my cousin Patrick Carre, and who's an amazing producer here in Perth. And so that sat there for a long time, and then with this new album working on, I thought, you know what, like, people always talk to me about All My Friends and how much they love it. I'm gonna remix it, remaster it, and release it properly. And ever since I did that, man, it's getting heaps of radio play all over the country. It's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So-
That's cool. That's a good thing. Yeah, like
Yeah.
big bands are very expensive to run, though. Boy,
Yeah,
whew.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
They
It
certainly
was
are.
but awesome fun, and like I've had the privilege of working with just the most beautiful musicians, like awesome people, real easygoing, and just really in it for the music, and yeah, I've been really blessed over the years. I'm and continue to be. I always find myself working with awesome guys and girls.
What's for the future? What's coming out in the future, or is there anything planned, or is it just going to happen?
I'm just getting bitten by mosquitoes out here in the wilderness. That's not my plan for the future, though. My plan for the future is I'm really wanting. My goal in life is to be playing stadium shows for a lot of people, and just bringing love and light, man, and bringing awesome shows and a shared experience to massive crowds of people, so that we can kind of raise the vibration. And the plans in place are just getting out to any venue, any event, any festival, any place I can, anywhere in the world over the next few years, to try to start to create a network. And then hopefully the second time I go back to these places, I'm able to kind of get a few people.
That's cool, man.
That is.
So, got more recordings in the works?
Yeah, absolutely. So the album, so Gnarly Winter's the title track, obviously. So I've preemptively launched that out, and the album will be dropping early next year, and there'll be quite a few new tracks that are, and there'll be some kind of just phone recordings on there.
Oh,
There'll be some stuff that I recorded in the middle of a teepee in a ceremony. There'll be some stuff that like really, really produced stuff. There's actually one song which I won't name yet, but I feel as though that's going to be. I think that would be a pretty big song for me.
Okay.
So so I'll send it to you guys when that's ready to go.
That'd be great, mate. Really, really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would love to chat with you again when all of that comes out, but unfortunately we are on a bit of a deadline tonight. So
no, that's
Jacob,
cool. That's cool.
Where's the best place for people to? So social media is one of those things that we all just have to do. So where's the best platform for people to check you out?
Yeah, so if possible, if everyone wants to follow me on Instagram, Jacob Jean Official.
Yep.
So that's JACOBJEAN Official. And I'm really putting a strong emphasis on just putting everything out on Instagram and kind of funneling everyone into one spot so we can all have a community there.
Okay.
And that's where I post all my gig posters, so you know where I'm gonna play. And
Insta's where the young folk are.
like you said, it's a necessary thing, and
it is.
We just have to have it. And it's a really cool thing for independent artists, to be honest, because how else are we gonna get out there, so
with that and Spotify, the gatekeepers have been removed, haven't they?
Exactly, man.
You can go direct, and that's important.
It's
really cool. Really nice to meet you, Jacob, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very much a refreshing conversation, a really cool chat, and I cannot wait to hear more of your stuff that's coming through. So
I would say Braggy will be very disappointed he missed this one. This is his wheelhouse.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why we'll get you back because
Yeah.
Braggy
sure.
this will just pique his curiosity as well. So
Sure,
I,
sure. Sure.
because on Braggy's first album that he did with the Blow Up Sweethearts, they used the iPhone in so many of their recordings. They filmed they recorded the sound of gravel as they walked over it, and that's part of the beat on one of their songs, and then the noise of the kookaburra in the morning, and then even one of their favorite songs that I love so much, they recorded it through the female vocals was recorded through the iPhone like it was a telephone conversation. So I think he will be incredibly intrigued with that. So
Yes.
Jacob, I will put your links in our show notes, and we have added your songs into our playlist, Unfiltered and Undiscovered, every damn song. So if you've liked what you heard tonight, please check out Jacob Jean. And the way he's touring, he might be at a place near you very soon. So
Follow you
Yeah,
on Instagram.
I would say I will be. I will be.
all right, next week on the show, we have got Tom Curtin again from the Top End. He's joining us to talk about his new album. He recently released a single with our good friend Laura Frank. So a big shout out to Laura because I would believe she's due soon. So it'll be interesting seeing her back on the road with Bub in tow. So that's going to be very, very interesting, Laura. So if you've loved what you heard, hit follow, share the show, and dig deeper into our Spotify playlist. More artists, more stories, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. Thanks again, Jacob. It's been
Thank you,
absolutely
gentlemen. I
awesome
appreciate you.
speaking with you.
What would you say if I told you that heaven it is hidden in the back of a toe? In the rain of a drop and in the drop of a fold, in the heart of a rock and in the blood of a nose, and everything that is not, and in the burn of the cold. Yeah, you see there is not just one way to evolve. Just give all that you got until the clock on the walls. Cause no more tick-tocks left inside it at all. Yeah, we all fall, but just know a million ways to find a million ways to do my fight. The past they are narrow, but it's more than one you can take. Stay away from the lies, stay away from the fake. And when you realize that every step is fate, and open your third eyes and start to raise up the snake, and keep your eyes on the plate, it comes back for the hate. Give more than you take, and your ego deflate. They'll try to dangle the carrot, but man, don't take the bait. You see the path to divine, it ain't served on a plate. Come on. Anyways to put the brain on many ways that you'll not find.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week. Jacob, your music is like a kaleidoscope of 3 or 4 different genres all sort of blended into a blender, and what comes out at the end is really quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've never heard it described like that, but I like that, man. It's especially because if you're using the terminology of a blender, like I like to think it's like soul food, man. So blender's
Yeah,
probably
okay.
good.